All right, you guys, it's your favorite YouTuber, Austin Holloman. I'm back with another daily live stream, and we have another special guest. Many of you have already seen her before, but I don't think we've done a one-on-one interview about, especially not in the style that I've been doing. So we're bringing it to you guys. If you guys have not already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you have not, sign up for the Patreon. And please make sure you keep your comments respectful to the guest. She's from Medellin, Colombia, but we're gonna get to know her a little more. I'm gonna pretend like I don't know her. Um, so we have Payola in the building. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm doing the best I could ever be.
Okay.
So, would you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you do, who you are?
Can you hear me properly?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, okay, guys. Hi, I'm Paola Sanz. I'm from Santa Marta, Colombia. I live in Medellin and I work in the tourism industry slash relocation services. So I help people that are moving to Colombia get settled or like who are coming for visit the country, to make the itinerary, villas, check, security, etc. Yeah.
And how long have you been doing that?
For the, I mean, in the tourism industry, I've been for 5, 6 years, but in Medellin for the last 2.5 years.
Okay. So the first question I have for you is, well, let me ask you this: do you like living in Medellin?
I did. At the beginning, it was, was too much of a big city for me because I don't know, like come from a small city and now I feel comfortable because the city is actually really nice.
Okay. So let me ask you the first question. Can you describe how Medellin has evolved during your lifetime or during the time you've been staying there?
Can I describe what?
How Medellin has changed since you first moved there to when you to today?
Well, it has changed a lot in the last 2.5 years. After the pandemic, it definitely became more popular. The prices has went up ridiculously, like for rent and and for some other things, like even like the property and the appreciation of the property has been crazy lately. So definitely the real estate sector or economic sector has changed a lot in the past 2.5 years.
And why do you think that is?
Gentrification definitely has a big role on it because, of course, more foreigners moving into the country is expectable, that is going to raise the price because, they have the powers of acquisition. So people are going to start to increase their property values, increase the rent because they know there is a big amount of people that can pay for those things.
Okay, so let me ask you this: do you think Medellin was because that's I guess the real estate and the cost of living, how Medellin has changed since you first got there. How would you say the safety has changed? Do you think it's safer or do you think it's more dangerous since you moved there?
Um, Give me 1 second, please. I'm trying to. Okay. Okay, I think it's better because it had like a filter on my face that was like making me blurry, and I don't know how to take that off, but I think it's better now. You say the safety, if it has changed?
No, like yeah, if the safety is it more safe in Medellin from when you first moved there, or is it more dangerous?
Mm, I wouldn't say more safer or dangerous, but definitely very different now. Like, there's a lot going on now with dating apps and like maybe, gringos getting robbed or drug and vice versa. Also, gringos coming here and doing bad to some girls, like beating them. So it's complicated. Like it's complicated to say because with the security for the city itself, I don't think it has changed much. I just think that what the tourism is like leading to is what it has changed.
So there's gringos coming to Medellin beating women,
Hmm.
and that's very common. You say.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Some people come here for the beauty of the city. Some people come here for the vet. Some people come here for women. Like people come for multiple and different reasons.
So what have been the penalties? Like what has been the penalties for the gringos that are beating on women in Medellin?
The penalty for the gringos that was, excuse me?
That beat the women in Medellin? Like what happens to the guys that beat the women?
Um, well, most of the time it has been like working women. So sometimes they call the police and they have to pay money to the police. I personally haven't heard of the first that went to prison for it. Um, but I don't know. I think it's just more a negotiation there with the police and the girl, trying to get paid or different issues, basically.
Oh, so you
Yeah.
think the women might be lying about being beaten?
It could be, but also I have seen videos, on Facebook and like that went viral of guys just like beating the girl maybe because they didn't want to pay or the guy did something. I don't know. Like I just seen videos. What happened after that? I don't really know.
So what would you say? Do you think your as a Colombian, do you think your quality of life has gotten better or worse since you moved there?
I would definitely say it has gotten better because now I don't only have a different lifestyle, but I'm able to support my family who still live in Santa Marta. Medellin is a big city with a lot of opportunities if you really have the right mindset, and you're focusing what you want to do. Definitely it has, impact my lifestyle and a lot of things in my life moving to this city.
Okay, okay, that's good. So, what are the most significant changes you've noticed in the city's cultural and social landscape?
Culturally, like what has changed in the city in the past.
Yeah, the most.
Mm, I would say you can see the influence of Americans in the city, not only because of the price, but also the type of event they're running, the type of music that is being played in certain place. You can definitely see the influence. I mean, before there was a still influence because most famous movies are Americans. The music, a lot of things in America has a big impact in a lot of countries, regardless. So, but now because there's more expats and more people living here, I would say definitely you can see in the type of events they're running, the network events that wasn't really a big thing before. There is a lot of Americans here organizing networks event, for locals that have business to me, maybe investors and entrepreneurs. Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's I've definitely noticed that myself. So, how have foreign residents contributed to the economic development? So, like, are a lot of gringos coming to, or yeah, are a lot of foreigners coming to Medellin to invest, and they're the ones developing, or is it the Colombians?
I would say it's a combination of both. There's definitely a big amount of people investing. Me, I'm also in, I connect realtors with people that are trying to invest here. And I have a lot of clients, of course, looking for different type of property. But the Colombian, high class, they also have a big um, acquisition capacity, if I can say that in English. So you can see a lot of people from the coast also investing in Medellin, especially in commercial projects where they can Airbnb and monetize it.
Okay, so would you say is there a huge wealth gap in Colombia? Like, is there like a middle class?
Absolutely. In Colombia, we have something called social economy extras, estratos socioeconómicos, and it goes from 0 or from 1 to 6. And the middle class is considered between 3 and 4, and then 5 and 6 is like the upper class, and then the lower class is 0, 1, and 2.
Okay, I didn't know that. So, in what ways do you think foreigners have influenced the local culture? Do you think that Medellin's culture is changing over time with the amount of foreigners coming there?
So one thing about Paisa, like the local people here, Paisas is how we call people from Medellin and the state in general. They are very famous in our country for having, a strong, solid culture even their accent, the way they, they're business minded and stuff like that. So it's still, I don't see the big impact in their influencing their culture, and maybe gastronomy wise, maybe culturally wise, based on what they do. So I wouldn't say that is big in a sense of like, um typical food, like what they like to dance, what they like to listen to. Yeah.
Really? So I thought maybe I've known a few foreigners that have been to Medellin many times, and they think that every 6 months the culture changes a bit. Things get a
No,
little things become more Americanized every 6 months. They think.
it I absolutely understand that, and that is partially true because, of course, if you were talking about the touristic district like Poblado, and now Laurel is getting more like popular now for the local culture. But when you go to places like Belém, Sabaneta, and all, you can see like purely the culture is still what they used to. They're not gonna play any music in English. They're gonna play merengue, ranchera, all this type of music. Now, Poblado is very mixed right now between locals and foreigners. Of course, you're gonna find, places that now play American music, places, even the hookah culture now is big here in Medellin. Before, there wasn't as much as hookah lounge and hookah places. So I would say that is an impact of Americans because it wasn't really a big thing before here.
Really? Okay, so one thing that Americans have infiltrated Colombia with is hookup culture. I think I've heard that as well before. So we got two super chats. The social owner says she's a very smart woman and a chill person. Happy to see her doing her thing. So happy to see her doing so well. Keep doing your thing, girl. Thank you, the social owner, for the $5 super chat.
Thank
And we have
you.
Sal1234. She said in the interview that Parguettes is full of ninjas. Not true. Ask her about it. What is the percentage of ninjas compared to other races? Well, I'll tell you this: you guys can go look at my live streams. There's a lot of black folks in Parguettes. There's no if you let me say it in a more professional way. There's no shortage of us. It's not a few of us over there. And if y'all want, we could pull up the videos. Floyd and I were out there. There's plenty of black folks in Parguettes. So
Thank you. And I would like to clarify that because actually I got asked to be in a lot of interview to clarify that, but I didn't really want to talk about because one thing when you talk about race, everybody comes for you. But since you mentioned it, guys, I did not say in general that you are the majority doing sexual tourism, that you are the majority doing certain things. What I say is the local perspective on you guys sometimes is because if you go at Jettas Park at 2 in the morning, you'll see a lot of black guys. I'm not saying you're the majority. I work with tourism. I have Indian clients, white clients, Latinos clients, Dominican, Mexicans, right? But because most of you are in Jettas Park at the same time, you are seen as the majority, even when you're not. And why is that? It's because there's a lot of YouTubers promoting Jettas Park. So maybe you don't know better. Maybe you don't know that Provenza exists. Maybe you don't know Las Palmas exists. Laureles, there's other places where you can party, but because you don't know better, in a sense of there is many YouTubers promoting Jettas Park, which is okay because they play rap, they play hip hop, they play all this type of music. You are going there. That doesn't make you the majority, but because if you're passing by a place and you see the majority of something in there, you're gonna feel like it's the majority, and it's not.
Okay, that's a great answer. So, you spoke about the hookup culture coming from the foreigners. So, how else has the influx of foreigners affected the local dating scene in Medellin?
I would say expectations.
Okay, like what?
uh, you know, um, Definitely women, especially, have a more expectation of what they can expect from a man. Like, okay, this local guy can really give me, this and that. Maybe a foreigner can do it. So I will definitely say, not for everybody. Again, guys, when I talk, I don't generalize. Most women that are used to date foreigners or stuff like that, they have a higher expectation because regardless if these men in United States, the middle class, upper class, or low class, they don't know that, but what they know is because current exchange and difference is better here, they know they can afford a little bit more.
And so, do you think that they're putting those same expectations on the local Colombian guys?
Most of the time, no. There is general expectation, like if we go out, I expect you to pay for my dinner because that's Colombian culture in general. If we go out and we drinking and everything, I expect you to pay for those things. And I think that expectation is also for locals and for foreigners. But it's more now when it comes to dating. Okay, why is that woman expecting this guy to do for her?
Okay, okay, interesting. So we have another super chat that says, "Do you think Americans coming to Colombia for sex tourism is good for the economy?"
Um, if we talk about the economy, only the fact that they're coming is a good thing because in a sense, like Colombia has their how you say the gross, the DG internal gross. I don't know how to say in English. In Spanish is IPB. Hold on, because I want to make sure I say it right. The GDP. The
Oh,
GDP of Medellin is like right now almost 10%, and for the country is even higher. So of course, tourism is always a good thing. And I don't really think that prostitution or guys coming here for women is really the problem because when you go to even in Dubai, I've been to other countries, and in Dubai, prostitution is everywhere in a higher level, of course, a higher level of women. They get, it's different, but it doesn't really, affect it if it can be controlled certain way. Like, there's certain places you can go, there's certain things you can do. I don't necessarily agree or disagree with that, but it is what it is.
okay. I've actually never thought about that, so we can go to the next question. Uh, what impact have international influences? So, what impact have the influence of gringos had on crime rates and safety in the city? Do you think that the fact that there's more foreigners means that there's more crime and it's less safe in Medellin?
Hmm. That's a good question. I will really have a big, I don't really have a big opinion on it because I will have to see the rate of criminal things in the past 2 or 3 years. Uh, me personally, I don't daily meet people that local or foreigner that got robbed or that got, extortionated of anything. And I know a lot of people, but I do know a few guys that has been drugged by the women.
Okay, so let me see. I was just about to ask you something. I literally just forgot it. Okay, yeah, I forgot. I had to come back to it. So, can you share your perspective on how the education system in Medellin has responded to globalization? That's a hard question.
Can you read it again?
Can you share your perspective on how the education system in Medellin has responded to globalization?
Education system. I would definitely say now, in that size, people or even the government itself has trying to implement more like English classes in public schools, specifically because the private school they have uh, you know um, they have English classes. But for example, in 2018, the government started a program where they bring uh, foreigners, natives, native English, like Americans from England, that the natives speaking English, sorry, to the country so they can support the English in the public schools. So since then, you have seen how the government is trying to impact because they know like the country is transitioning into a big tourism industry and destination. So they want, of course, to um, maximize that.
So, you think without tourism, Colombia's economy wouldn't do as well?
I will definitely say it will have a big impact in cities that not fully depends, but the GDP depends a lot on it, like Cartagena, Santa Marta, Medellin. But there's also things that we have, that doesn't have that to do with tourism, like the exportation of agriculture and other things.
So if it would have a big impact, how come the government doesn't uh, handle a lot of the crimes? Like, how come they don't do much about the crimes that happens to foreigners there?
Because a lot of those crimes are not reported. Like, let's say out of the five guys that I know that were escapulamin, only one of them reported to the police. The other four, they just like took it as a loss and they didn't report it. So if in numbers the police are not seeing massive, reports on something, how are they gonna take action? Because maybe you guys are putting it on social media, which is okay, but the police here don't speak English. They don't have access to see the crime in social media.
Well, I could understand that point, but I would say this too. I think there is enough awareness about the scopolamine and the robberies and stuff like that in Colombia where even if you go on Tinder, it warns you if you're in Medellin, like be careful using Tinder in this area. And the United States has a travel advisory for Colombia itself. So if the United States knows, how does the Colombian government seem to not know?
That's a good question. I think the United States, I don't think, maybe Colombia is playing the blind. The government is playing the blind with those criminal things that have been going on with the women and dating apps. But also, I would say your power on social media, the American guys reporting all this on social media and all the titles of saying this gringo got robbed, and even just the 3 or 4 cases of those gringos that passed away and they're dead now was like in the big news. So of course the country is gonna create an alert that is a dangerous country to visit.
Okay, yeah, and I think it's been rated a dated country, a dangerous country to visit for like 50 years now. But I don't think it's as dangerous as it was 50 years ago. So the social owner says, "I'm scared of Colombia. Would she be willing to protect me and show me around if I come, Flamingo?"
Well, I do have a concierge company, and I can definitely, if it's not me, can be one of the tour guides for the company. But I'm sure you're gonna have an amazing time if you just travel and plan your itinerary with us.
Uh, Thank you for the super chat. Passport Bros podcast says, "Why do unattractive women have Colombian women only have an issue with the Passport Bros? The pretty women want us to come." What do you think about that?
Uh, I don't know. That's the question that I don't know how to reply. Then attractive women have a passport, and I don't know. Maybe the ones that are pretty, they want, they use their pretty privilege with the gringos.
So,
I don't know.
what do you think about the whole Passport Bros thing? I know we spoke about this before, but what do you think about the? Do you have an issue with the so-called Passport Bros?
I think the word has been generalized a lot, and they take in passport bro as anybody who just come in and do disaster, and that now that's a passport bro. It has its pros and its cons. I have seen I internally have seen like how is that community, because I know one of the creators of the movement or whatever you want to call it, and I think how they have like groups to help people work in line, to teach them how to make money online, to um even developing a cryptocurrency or something like that. So I think that's fantastic, because if as a community you can help each other. But then here the local people, there's a plenty guys, you can, if the ones that speak Spanish can go on TikTok and put passport bros, and the amount of like local people talking about it in Spanish is crazy. But for me, the guys coming here to find the women, to find the business opportunities to invest, it's just like the Latinas to live and migrate to United States. The Latinos, there's a lot of Latinos that go to United States, to Europe, Spain, England, Dubai, whatever it is, opportunities, because it's just the reason why are they living, because they want a better lifestyle when it comes to maybe financial resources, dating opportunities, or whatever it is, they also live in. So I don't think it's fair to judge somebody for they're looking a better life somewhere else. It's just that there is this perspective now that passport bros are the sexual tourism. They don't say, oh, it's just, guys that maybe want to move here because they want to invest, or they want a wife, or they want to do different things. Is There's definitely a misconception. I used to think some like that before, that I've met, that I've not, that I realized everything that was going on. And I was like, well, it's like the Latinas. I've been stereotyped before when I'm in other countries. So sometimes because I'm Colombian, in other countries they say, oh, you're a pro. And they treat me like a prostitute just because they think because I'm Colombian. So I can only imagine for the guys that don't come here for this reason and get treated the same just because some of them came for that reason. It's just not fair.
Okay, okay, I would agree. So the next question I have for you is, what advice would you give to a foreigner considering Medellin to be a new home?
hmm And my advice will, guys, definitely take your time to know the city. Take your time to, if you're gonna invest, take time to know how the economy works, what the government regulations. Take the time for everything, and even for dating. You are gonna be here. You're gonna have time to meet beautiful women, to meet smart women, to meet all the different type of women that you maybe want to find. But take your time. Don't rush. Don't rush anything. If you're already living here, like what's the difference between taking your time and just rushing everything? You can take definitely grand decisions and try to incorporate yourself in the culture, like learning Spanish, hanging with locals, going maybe to football match with the local guys so you can know what it is and why they're so passionate about football.
So, what advice would you give to somebody like to how to approach a Colombian woman, how to approach a woman in Medellin?
um It depends. I mean, it depends of the scenario because if you're in a club, I'm sure you can just say something like, "You do you want to dance?" And please, 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 do not use the word "mommy." A lot. That's actually very important, guys. Do not use the word "mommy" because it's so cringy for us. Because you don't know me. Why are you calling me mommy? Like we don't even have that confidence like that. Don't say like, "Mommy, can I dance with you?" No, it's like, Just say like, "Oh, can I dance with you?" Or "I find you pretty." Like, "Can we dance?" Or "I like your shirt. Can we dance?" Like something. But mommy is just, especially if you're trying to invite a woman that maybe is not in that sector. You can call a woman mommy here, but when you already know her or have more, how you say, interaction with the person, but not straight away because it's just some, I don't know, it sounds transactional.
Yeah.
and and then if you are in an event, or let's say you're walking on the mall and you saw a pretty woman, just come, guys, like the same game that you play there. Compliment her outfit, compliment her hair, something, and that's how you start a conversation. But do not start with the mommy, please.
Okay, that's a good tip. Don't start with mommy. So C-Man says, why are Colombians anti-sex tourists, despite that being legal there? It seems illogical.
I think more than the sexual tourism, guys, is that the environment it is creating. Again, as I said before, the people here are very, like they own their culture, they own their values. In Colombia, is a very Catholic country too. So for some people, it's like more than the prostitution was here before gringos, for the locals too. So more than the against sexual tourism is that the environment it is creating for the city. Because before the pandemic, you go to Jeras Park and you can bring your 7 years old and your 11 years old to have dinner around Jeras Park. But now because of the environment, and not only the gringos, but how the women are dressing, and how you can feel in the environment that is just not right anymore for certain people, like children, or family environment. So it's more because of that. It's more than the prostitution. It was here before. It's like the environment that it is creating.
So do you think that eventually they'll make it where they kind of make those sex tourists not come to Colombia?
Well, the mayor, it is like apparently implementing certain things for him to at least control it. I don't think he will stop like that, because how they gonna stop? Like if the women can work, then that just doesn't make sense. And for that, the government will have to also offer economic solutions to the women that are working, because most of these women also have children. I like the head of the family, have a family to help and support. So you can just eliminate a problem without offering a solution.
I would agree. So it sounds like it's never going to go away.
Probably not. But maybe they will find ways to control it. Like maybe making certain discos just for that, or certain area where inside the discos is just for that. Maybe, because also all these women in the street and the market and the environment, that's really what is, the locals are like, I don't want to see this.
I could imagine. I could imagine. Okay, so from your experience, what are the biggest challenges that foreigners face whenever they move to Medellin?
Learning Spanish,
Yes.
adapting to the culture, because I think America is a country where you guys also have your own things and you like your own things and your own music. So I have friends that they still live here and they go to, for example, Jeddah Park just because of the music. Like they don't want to go to maybe other places, but they want to go to Jeddah Park just because of hip hop, rap, Afrobeats, and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people has problems adapting to the music here, or maybe the lifestyle, I guess. But they still want to live here because it's nice. It's a nice place to live. It's cheaper. You still can have a great quality life.
Okay. Okay. So we have guys, if you have a question for the guests, make sure you donate a super chat. I am not reading the chat as usual because I'm focused and I have my own set of questions. So if you have any additional questions, you must send a super chat of at least $5 for me to read it to the guests today. So if you're the social owner says, if you're a guy who loves staying in hostels, which would you recommend in Santa Marta, Salento, and Medellin? And do ladies like guys who stay in hostels?
Whew. In Santa Marta, I will definitely recommend you to stay in La Brisa Loca Hostel, Masaya, El Viajero. Those are like nice hostels that has like hotel environment. Uh, Give me 1 second. My accountant is calling me, and it's really like important. How do I mute this? Give me 1 second.
You guys, she's backstage meanwhile while she's handling her call. But yeah, if you guys have any questions so far, I know a lot of you guys like this series of interviews, and we will continue as soon as she finishes the call. But I'm enjoying the series. It's a lot easier. I don't have to walk around and just find content every day because you can't do that here in the Sunshine. It's not a lot to find here in the Sunshine. So I'm enjoying just being able to sit here and relax and just focus on the content. So she's back now. All right. So hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, you got it.
I don't know how to. How do we do it here? Okay. Okay. Good.
It's still giving feedback.
Yeah, and yeah, in Medellin, you can also stay in, what's this name?
No.
Masai.
No. Like the audio is very staticky.
Is it better?
No. Now it's perfect.
No, it's not good.
Yeah, it's good. So yeah, what
Okay.
hostel do you recommend that he was asking about?
In Medellin, Masaya also, El Viajero is really nice, and Selena, definitely Selena. And do girls, blah, do ladies like guys who stay in hostels? Some of them, some other, not because they think you're cheap, and that's the honest opinion.
Yeah. So that the women in Medellin prefer men that have their own apartment.
I would say so. I mean,
Is that like mandatory?
No, it's not mandatory. I would just say like certain some girls don't have problem with it because at the end they're not gonna go and sleep with you, and maybe some girls do have a problem with it.
Okay, we got one more super chat. We'll get to the next question. Uh, what is the healthcare system like? Is buying prescription drugs difficult?
No, actually, Colombia, even when we complain a lot about our healthcare system, is actually pretty good because if you don't have money or like the government will give you, we call it Swiss uh, it's like an insurance for you where you can have like dental treatments, general appointments, basically everything for free. And then when you're with a company, that company covers 70% of your health insurance, and you as an employee cover like I think it's like 30%. I don't remember the amount exactly. um I'm buying a lot of prescriptions here, guys. I have a lot of friends that they are surprised because you don't need prescriptions for certain drugs like tramadol, for example. I know you guys need a prescription to buy tramadol in United States. In Colombia, you don't. Or those things that are to breathe. I don't know what you call it.
The nasal spray?
Uh-huh. So I think you need prescription to know. You here, you just go to a pharmacy and you can buy that.
Okay. So we got another cash app, you guys, from Ryan Hogan. Says he sent $5 for who asked for the relationship and your thoughts after. So who in Colombia asked for the relationship first? Is it the man or the woman?
Guys, this is a very important question for the ones that are trying to date Colombian girls. The men ask to be like okay, we're in a relationship. Do you wanna be my girlfriend? Because I know a lot of friends here that are living here that they now think they are in a relationship with that girl just because they've been hanging and been they doing boyfriend and girlfriend activities. But really, the girl thinks she's still single, or at least like he is not invested enough to ask her if she want to be in a relationship. So it's very important that if you actually do want to be in a relationship, ask the women.
Okay. Okay, good. So if anybody was wondering. So how do you perceive the relationship between the local community and expats in Medellin? Like how do the local Colombians and the gringos that actually live in Colombia, how do they get along?
Uh, in Medellin,
Yeah.
it's a complicated. I think there is great relationship that has leads to amazing things. For example, the company that I moved to Medellin with is owned by a Colombian girl and an American guy. They partnership, and she comes from a wealthy Colombian family, and he's American, and they both create a business. Now they're making like hundreds of thousands of dollars a month here. So there is also, of course, like relationship that comes very well when it comes to the partnership understanding, but also Medellin specifically is like still very narco culture influence, where a lot of women are expect a lot from the men sometimes, regardless if he's foreigner or not, because of men here spoil a lot the women, especially because of the concept of narco before and everything. Uh, so some gringos don't meet their expectations, or vice versa. A lot of gringos want to be in a relationship here, and they just find very superficial women that they just look pretty, but they don't have nothing to offer in a sense of they can't really have a conversation with them, not because of the income barrier, but because of the mentality and mindset barrier. So it's like half and half, I would say.
Okay, that's interesting. So the Colombian women are used to being spoiled by the locals. So, but do you think that there is in between, let's say Cartagena too, in between Cartagena and Medellin, do you think there's a certain amount of locals that are tired of seeing foreigners?
Oh yeah, definitely. There is the go away gringo type of groups where they don't want absolutely no, not only because it is increasing the price of living that they cannot afford, but because they just really don't care. Like they don't care if you're a gringo or not, they just don't care and they don't want you there. In I would say most in Medellin because I haven't seen that much in Cartagena, but definitely there is like people who are just don't I don't like gringos and that's it.
Where do you think that's going?
Huh?
Where do you think that's going in the future? The I don't go away gringo. What do you think? Where do you think that's going in the future?
I mean, until there is not really government restrictions for it, they can't really change anything because they can't change the fact that people are coming here to invest and to grow the economy. What they can do is to start, activism, just like they have feminism and they have like all these activism things. They can just start an activism for anti-gringos, but without certain government, putting rules on it, they can really make a major impact.
Do you think that some of the Go Home Gringo group are some of the people that plot to scope gringos as well?
No, no, I don't think they don't really care for it. But I wouldn't say it's like a massive impact right now. There is like a lot of people. No, there's definitely more activism against sexual tourism than actually just the gringo go home. They just wanted to stop. Like, okay, the mayor say it, we want foreigners here. We love foreigners because it is growing the economy. He has an interview in this like national channels, and he's saying, I can see the impact in you guys in the economy, but what we don't want is guys that are coming here for rape, be with underage girls like 12, 11, and all these type of things, because then it is when it's going to get bad.
Okay, okay. So the next question I have is, what are some misconceptions that foreigners may have about living in Medellin?
Say that again, sorry.
Like, what are some misconceptions, like things that foreigners may think of Medellin that are not actually true uh, about living in Medellin? Like, what is, for example, they may think that, oh, if I move to Medellin, like I can't wear, I can't walk down the street at night because I'm going to get kidnapped, which is somewhat true. I mean, but it's not completely true. That's a misconception. What are some other things like that?
um I will definitely say in the dating aspect, because it's very talked a lot about it, is that you guys think that when you come to Colombia, every woman is feminine. Every woman is just like a, how you say, nurturing and like submissive and all these type of things. And that's absolutely not true, guys.
Does that describe you?
You, what do you mean?
Would you describe yourself with those words?
If I'm feminine and nurturing,
Hmm.
yes, I am. I am. Honestly, I prefer more, the being feminine and, just doing what I'm supposed to do. But the thing is, you guys know everyone. I have in my close group of friends, I have from the most feminine, catering, like caring friend that I have, to my friend that they will never like, if for example, if you say Andrea, be ready at 8 p.m. I'm gonna take you out to dinner. She's gonna be like, "Excuse me? Do you even ask me if I wanted to go on dinner?" Versus other women are gonna be like, "Oh my God, he's so masculine. He's leading. He's taking decisions." So not every woman you're gonna find here uh, is gonna be that.
So would you say the majority of women are the feminine type, or is it the majority that are like, oh, you didn't ask me?
Um, I don't have an answer for that. I would say social media has a big influence right now in a lot of people mentality, and a lot of women right now are in that stage of being more feminist because of the impact of social media and what they start to believe.
Okay. So you're not too sure, but okay, I
But
get
I
it.
but I've know both, but I can just really give you a percentage of how much.
Okay. So how do local businesses and entrepreneurs view the presence of foreigners in the city? You spoke about that a minute ago.
I mean, a lot with tourism and people coming, a lot of people benefit of it. Restaurants, hotels, malls, everybody, and with that also, there is the internal part, which is the employee. There is more employment because there is, more people opening restaurant, more people opening hotels. So it is a benefit for everybody. Like in the economy industry that is around the tourism. restaurants, hotels, transportation, etc.
It sounds about right. Usually, if anybody's gonna hate tourists, it's not the businesses because that would be counterproductive. So the social owner said, Paula, I'm just messing around. Love seeing you do your thing. Still have that video we made so I could get a haircut when I ain't know Spanish. Thank you for the super chat. I guess you know him personally. C-Man says, I have a very nice friend named Floyd who loves wearing red shirts and practicing Spanish. Would you be interested in having a coffee with him?
A very nice friend named Floyd who wearing red shirt. I don't know what the red shirt comes around. I mean, a coffee for what?
Yeah, I guess they just want you to meet each other. She sent $5 for she's lying. She's a feminist. Would you consider yourself a feminist?
I'm not, but if he say I'm lying, I guess that's what he decided to believe, and that has nothing to do with me.
We also got a $5 cash app from Abu Dhabi, and he says, "Thank you, Colombian government, for supporting the war." Which I'm not going to say the other side because that we're not going to do that. But I appreciate that cash app. Could you discuss any government policies aimed at integrating or managing the foreign population? Like you said before, well, you kind of touched on it a little bit. Can you see the Colombian government trying to restrict how many foreigners can come in, or do you see them trying to create policies to encourage more foreigners to come in?
I would say the Colombian government has been pro-tourism for a long time, honestly. Just the fact that you guys, as a tourist, you don't pay taxes until you become a tax resident, that's a major. For example, for me to stay in a hotel here in Colombia, I have to pay more than you because you don't have to pay 90% of taxes to stay in that hotel. You understand? So just with things, and that made that to attract more tourism and to make it, like a cheap or affordable tourism destination back in the days to attract more tourists. So the government has definitely take actions pro to tourism because they know Colombia has the tools to be a major tourism destination.
Okay, I would agree. So why are they scapegoating foreigners when all know it's mostly locals that engage in these militant activities with minors?
What does the word is
He's
called?
basically saying, why are they blaming foreigners for it's dealing with minors when it's really locals that do it more, is what he's saying.
I would say for the same reason that Latinos or Arab or Chinese people get pointed American when they do something and they are pointed for their race and stuff like that. It's the same here. We have internal issues just like any other country. We have here just like, for example, to picture the thing is that in United States there's a lot of, or even Europe, a lot of people that are crazy go to schools and shoot a lot of people, and then okay, that's a massive problem. But then if the person who shoot the school was a Muslim man, it's a scandal because they're gonna say the Muslim community is basically damaging everything. It's the same here in other countries. In Colombia we have rape issues. We have, you can name it and call it locals doing prostitution, locals raping, locals killing, locals robbing, everything, guys. But when it comes to foreigners, they're gonna point there because it is, it is cutting the eyes just because now it becomes an international issue.
Okay, yeah, that's a very good analogy. You're basically saying that it's just like any other country that has crime, but if a Muslim, yeah, I definitely get that. Yeah, I definitely get that. Okay. So, what cultural practices or local traditions do you think are important for foreigners to respect and understand?
Say that again, sorry?
What cultural practices or traditions do you think are important for a gringo to know before coming to Medellin?
We are very of a thank you, please culture. Not because you're paying for something out in our culture means that, oh, you're just deserve of it. Like, so when people hear, and this is more the European, as I will say, I have never really have this type of issue with American, but like in the Europeans, it's more like because they take for granted a lot of things. And some people are like, can I have this? But here in Colombia, it's like, can I please have this? Thank you. May I have this? Like, you see, especially in Medellin, everybody's like, oh, please, would you like? Can I help you? You know, so it is very important that you guys are gentle.
Okay.
And just respect, honestly, respect people. One thing that they do not like, and you guys do a lot, is the closing the door of the car's hard when you leave an Uber or a taxi, which I don't understand if the cars there are built different, but it's always an issue.
Okay, I never thought about that. I guess I don't slam doors too often. How do you envision the future of Medellin in 10 years?
Oof. Um, because of the because of the weather, environment, economic opportunities, investment opportunities, I could pretty much say Medellin is becoming a very, you know, important city for the country when it comes to economy. It's definitely going to be more developed, way more foreigners living here. Price of living is going to go up significantly. Um, yeah. I
Okay.
wouldn't compare that to, I can compare it to an American city because I've never been. So, but somebody here say New York City, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know if it could be like New York City. I think Medellin is its own thing. It'd just be bigger and better, but I don't think it'd be like New York. So, are there any specific sectors or industries in Medellin that you think offer the best opportunities for foreigners? For example, I know in when I was in Thailand, there's a guy that owned a soul food restaurant that serves like Southern American food, and there was
Mhm.
a market for that. Do you think there's like a let me see the question again. Do you think that there's a lot of opportunities in specific things, like a specific type of restaurant or a specific type of industry for foreigners to try to open up?
One thing I will say is that because you guys come from another country and you may see things here different, or maybe you see the lack of something, a service, a product, or something that you normally have back home and you don't have it here. That's where the opportunities is. Medellin, there's a lot of foreigners now, so they want a lot of variety. For example, this girl, she's Jamaican and she just opened a Jamaican restaurant. There was not Jamaican restaurant in Medellin, so you can only imagine how this woman is doing, because there's, even if it's any, like any, who doesn't like Jamaican food?
Mhm.
Who doesn't like Caribbean food? Now she's doing good because that's, she's offering, you know, that the city didn't have. When you guys come here, maybe I would say in service, there's a lot of things that foreigners should be looking for investing, because just like you say, oh, when I go to a restaurant, it just takes so long to get my food. Okay, maybe there is an opportunity you to create maybe a system, or a program that teach people how to be more efficient, to, you know, to bring food faster, just like that, because you guys can see things that you normally have there that is normal, that people just don't see it, and now you're lacking it here. That's an opportunity.
Okay, so you're thinking that foreigners can come to Medellin to help teach people how to do business in American ways?
Yeah, if you can say it like that, you can say it like that.
Okay, I could see that. So, how has Medellin's infrastructure changed to accommodate its growing popularity for gringos?
How is Medellin infrastructure? What?
How has it improved for gringos? Like, for example, infrastructure improving is since there's a lot of foreigners coming to Medellin, it's mandatory that all places that are all apartments now have to have 5G internet. That's like is there a lot of things like that that have happened?
I wouldn't say so, because if anything, the government is trying to improve things for everybody, just not for foreigners. Like in Medellin is one of the most innovative city of Latin America. So the government here, the people is trying always to innovate in general. To foreigners, I wouldn't say so. What I would think that they have implement more, but that's more than the government. Is like the local businesses to have maybe English speaking or somebody who speaks English, so they can help them with the solution of something. Or maybe in some places now you see signs in English too. Maybe in that way it's helping them.
Okay. Okay. I think like them bringing Uber is a way that the infrastructure was improved as well.
No, but
The,
Uber is been here for a minute. Like before, even the massive tourism. Well, I wouldn't say that before the massive tourism, but it's been here for years.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't really know. I don't really know. And I've been to Medellin twice. I've probably spent about 6 weeks in Medellin, so I don't really know though. So, what can foreigners do to contribute positively to the community in Medellin?
What the foreigner was, sorry?
How can a foreigner positively contribute to the uh, community in Medellin?
By being part of it, by trying to offer solutions maybe to problems that he sees,
Do you think that
investing.
foreigners are not invested in the community enough?
Mm,
Like foreigners don't hang out with the locals as much as they should.
no, they do. They
Okay.
do. They definitely do. There is actually foreigners see that they don't want to hang with other foreigners.
I'm one of them. Okay, so how else can they contribute to the local community?
Maybe, I don't know, guys, like if you have the opportunity and you have a business, yes, that's amazing that you're making money and you're creating employment from other people. But maybe also try to help, you guys speak English. Maybe if your business is located in Laureles or something, just do some like free classes with your expat friends, and every Wednesday, I don't know, just like little things to help the community, maybe learn something, maybe give them marketing tips to local small businesses. Just, I don't know, just there's different ways that people can contribute, socially speaking.
Okay, so we got a super chat from Andre Loves Crossing Borders. He said 20,000 Colombian pesos for Hey Austin and Paola. Another great interview. I'm listening from the gym, sharing the truth about Medellin and Colombia. Medellin won the most innovative city in the world award. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I would say it's innovative. I would say that. So the next question, thank you for the super chat. The next question is what are some essential things that a foreigner should prepare for before moving to Medellin?
What are things that foreigners should preparing for before moving to Medellin?
Yeah.
Uh, the culture differences. They should prepare in a way that not everything is as fast. In the United States, some things are slow here, and then you gotta, what's you say, master the art of being patient sometimes, because even we locals sometimes get upset at restaurants or at banks, that not everything is digitalized, not everything is on the internet. Sometimes you got to go somewhere, some places to do errands, because it's just not possible to do it from a platform or from the internet. So I will definitely say that mastering the art of being patient will be a major thing to do.
I could see that. You do have to be very patient in Medellin, depending
In
on where.
Colombia and in general, yeah, for
Yeah.
client services, for not being fast, for not being maybe able to do certain things online, from maybe in the same corporation, people telling you different things for one solution, like those type of things.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot of places didn't take card in Medellin.
Especially small businesses, and that's because they don't want to pay all the taxes they should do, and if it's cash, they don't have to report it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, some people were trying to tell me, "Oh, Austin, what are you talking about? I use my card every day." I'm telling you, they didn't accept card everywhere. So we got a $5 super chat from Old Country Boy says in her video with Black Men Travel, she made claims that black men being the majority in Park Geddes, are being the majority in Park Geddes. Well, we kind of touched on that, but I mean, can she expound on that? I mean, that is a fact. I'm going to let you know right now. I can pull up a video. I have video footage, and I never thought about. I wasn't thinking about race, but now that you say that, I mean, it is a lot of y'all out there. I mean, there's no, like I said before, there's no shortage of black folks in Park Geddes. Abby Dolly sent $10. Thank you for the super chat. I have a few more questions, and then we'll be done because this went by faster than most interviews. So, what are some key lessons that Medellin has learned through its evolution in the recent decades? Like, what did it learn from? Like, one example is what did it learn from the Escobar days?
I would say even communities like Comuna 13 has definitely a community that has changed a lot with the time and learned a lot for the past and the image that it has in the country, but even in their own communities. I would say that maybe fast money is not the good thing to do. That being the gangster of the neighborhood is not always the best decision to be. I don't know, like that maybe those type of illegal thing are not the best way to get you out of your poorness, if I can say that. I don't know how to, yeah.
I understand what you mean. Okay, so the next question is: did you already discuss the healthcare system in Medellin?
Yeah, we already did.
Okay, what role do you think technology plays in local expat community? Yeah, it already. Yeah, I've already asked. What are you laughing at?
Because somebody said she wasn't even born. What are you talking about? Honey, there is history, there is people, there is books, there is so much material and resources we can learn from. You
Well,
weren't born in the Nazis, and I know you know about Nazis.
yeah, yeah. So, what do you think that local cuisine has evolved from the amount of gringos moving there and open restaurants? Like, has it changed the local cuisine in Colombia?
Not the local one, but there's definitely more options, variety in restaurants. You can find out Peruvian, Mexican, Italian, Lebanese, Indian. But the local recipe itself, I don't think it has a big impact because people, like their seasoning as they like their seasoning.
Okay, three more questions and then I'll let you go. So, how do public services in Medellin adjust to? No, I already asked you that. So, do you think that the urbanization, like the amount of people moving to Medellin and them building up stuff and urbanization, do you think that has affected the environment? Like, for example, in Bangkok, that's the true definition of urbanization. Like, there's buildings, there's a lot of cars, there's a lot of people, a lot of stuff. It's urbanized, and the air quality is complete shit. Do you think that is the same thing in Medellin?
If believe it or not, Medellin is one of the cities in the country that is most polluted.
Yeah,
Polluted is the word?
absolutely.
Yes. Even when you see all this street, Medellin pollution is higher than Bogota. So even when the government has tried to bring out some sustainable ways to do certain things and for corporations and for hotels and stuff like that, it is a big issue that I don't know how they're gonna deal with it, honestly.
Okay. So, how do you think younger generations in Medellin will perceive the presence of foreigners? Like, what do the people that are under 18 years old think about all the gringos that are in town? I've always wondered that too. Like, what do the kids think with all these foreigners being in the town all the time?
I think they think it's cool because the majority of young people they are so much on social media where they have the influence of music, fashion, movies, and stuff like that. That they everything. A lot of people here, like youngies, have a lot of. I would say like prefer even American brands over a Colombian brands, or not Americans, but let's say foreigner brands. Like they would rather go to to Starbucks because it's American and it creates an status that go to Juan Valdez, like the younger community, for example. So I don't really think they will have an issue because they kind of like international status and international things.
So do you think eventually like the young girls that are 16, 15 right now seeing this, do you think eventually when they do you think that they'll start to, when they turn 18 and they become adults, that they'll just go for gringos instead of the locals?
No, I wouldn't say everybody. I would say significantly the amount of gringos here is gonna impact, because at the end of the day, leaving the label of being gringos is just when you look different in a place, people are always wondering. Even if it's just out of curiosity, they want to try or see what it is. So I think it's mostly that.
Okay. Okay, because I'm just wondering. I've always wondered with all these foreigners flooding Thailand and Colombia and Panama and stuff. Does that affect the younger generation where they don't even want the dudes that they went to high school with at some point because they feel like, so okay. I'm gonna read a couple more super chats and then I have one last question. That's it. So
No worries.
Ed by being sent 5 Canadian, whatever this is. Payola, por favor, teach Austin how to pronunciate your name. Payola is crazy and painful. Paula, how do you say it?
Paola.
Oh, Paula. Okay, sorry, Paula. Question for you both. Why is the title Stay Out of Medellin, Colombia, but it sounds like the city is very developing? You must be new here, man. I title stuff in ways to make you click on it. It's called business. C-Man, do you like colored men? Colombians
Listen,
consider colored people.
even when there is a video, because I say what I say about the black guys in your aspire, they think I hate you and I don't like you and I'm being racist or whatever. That's not true, guys. In fact, my preference is black men.
Okay. I'm pretty sure they love that answer. So the last question I have for you is, finally, what do you love the most about Medellin and what makes it unique compared to the other cities in Colombia?
What do I like most about Medellin and what makes it different to other cities in Colombia?
Yeah, what makes it the most unique compared to the other cities in Colombia?
I would say the weather, like is like nature environment inside the city. Like it's just like breathtaking. Sometimes you're just driving somewhere and then you feel like you're in the jungle, but you're still in the city. The amount of opportunity that there is for health and like fitness and wellness, like you find here for everything. Like you find, if you're gonna do yoga, you anything that you like sport wise you're looking to do, or treatments that you're looking to get in Medellin, they have them all. um the people here is very gentle, honestly. It's more like versus Bogota that also has those treatments. In Medellin, people are more like willing to help you, like more nice, I would say, in my personal opinion, than Bogota.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Some people, and I need to try out Bogota too, but some people say that, well, somebody said that in your Instagram it says you're Afro Latina. I think I asked you this before. Still got to get my mind around it. Is either one of your parents directly like of Afro descent, or is it somebody like a grandparent or a great grandparent?
Um, it's a mix, honestly. So my mom, she's like light skin, but she's her hair and everything, she's Afro. Uh, but I think my mom is lighter than me. But my grandmothers, one is indigenous and one is like Afro Colombian.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you got a tri mix.
Yeah, like a mix.
I think that's most of South America, though. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you open to people calling in and talking to you, one or two people at a time?
Yeah, no worries.
Okay,
Also,
so
I did want. No, no, go ahead.
go ahead.
No, that I just wanted to mention that I just recently create a YouTube channel where I'm gonna talking about investment in Colombia and lifestyle and tourism. So if you guys want to add me, you can add me.
Yeah, what's your YouTube? Can you? I'll have them put it in the chat, and I'll put it in the title as well.
Uh, it's like Paola Sanz, like my name, Paola Sanz, La Colombiana.
Okay, so I'll put it Paula Sands Colombiana.
La Colombiana. I just dropped a comment actually.
Oh, she put it right there. Okay, so we're gonna do a call in for a little bit, and if anybody has any other questions, make sure you drop a super chat because I will not be reading the chat. So we have Poppy Rico in the building to start. What's going on?
Hey, Austin. I don't really have questions for Paola, but I do like that fact that you have a woman guest on.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you're gonna have a I guess have a call in after Paola gets off. That's what I'm wondering.
Oh, okay. Uh, they said no, not him again. Uh,
I'm here for that social loner.
oh,
Let's get him online and let's see if he could talk some smack with his face on the camera, and let's see if we could set up a date and time so we could play that game.
well, let me come back to you. Let me see if any. We'll do that on the after show real quick because I got to clip this part for the for her interview video.
Facts.
Okay, I'll bring you right back. If anybody, I have him in the back room. If anybody else needs to call in, if you guys want to talk to Paula, then she's here. I dropped the call in link. If you guys have any additional questions, you can call in. I give you guys like 3-4 minutes. Okay, somebody's calling it right here. So JR Young is calling. What's going on?
What up, man? What up, Paola? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm sorry. Hola. I'm sorry.
I love the
No.
trying.
Yeah. Yeah. I talked to Austin last night. On some different stuff. But I got a question, and I would just, try to. I think Austin, you remember me, Jr. from last night. I asked you, and you said that's a good idea. Paola, in your country, if I was to like meet a woman, and I didn't want to go on Tinder or Humble or anything like that. If I had, started to get onto the culture, learn my better language, carry right, get into the culture, on some real ish. You know what I'm saying? Uh, like, okay, basically, if I know you and me and you are cool, and I like, hit you up on your platform, whatever, could you refer me to some women that you know that are looking for like-minded American men? Not just on some fake stuff. I do the salsa, I do the, I do all that, but it's like, there's some risk because I'm a cultural guy, and that's why I follow Austin. I don't know if that was too much or not, but
No, that's fine.
It- um, so your question if I can introduce you a friend, or your question is where do you meet girls?
yeah, but it's like, since I know you, could you? Because in the United States, Austin know what I'm talking about. That's why he laughing. We refer to other people and like-minded people. So I was saying, if I know you, and let's just say you're not interested right now, you're doing your thing, and I would love to holler at you. But could you refer to me some girls that you know that are cool? Like, I know him; he's cool from what I know for right now. We've been in like-minded spaces. Yeah.
So just because of the fact that I don't know you, like your character and your personality,
Yeah.
as of right now, I cannot introduce you to nobody, because also as a friend, I wouldn't like, no, because as a friend, I wouldn't like to introduce to a guy that, you seem cool, but if you're not, then it falls on
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
But maybe if I knew you better, but if you want to meet, like, organically meet women, try to
Yeah.
assist to events. Events is the best way. If you want to
Yeah.
stay off dating apps, just assist to events. Like, join Facebook groups where it's like a I don't know, events in Colombia or what's happening in Medellin, or just assist to events. Like networking is the best way you can meet women, basically.
Yeah,
It
I mean
also
that's
of dating apps.
okay. I mean, because I'm I have friends over here, and I've been single on and off for a while, but I just be wondering in other countries to like cut down on because let's just be honest. The reason why I asked that too, I'm sure it's a beautiful country. I plan to come there. It is still dangerous because it's still Colombia, and I guess that would be anywhere, but like, and I was just thinking if that would be a cool way to make it easier. But like you said, I get it, going to events and stuff and just pulling up. I feel you.
Yeah. Like for
Yeah,
example, I know Austin, but I wouldn't introduce him to my
yeah, you don't know
friends.
me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You wouldn't? Yeah. Oh, come on. Just on
No,
some real stuff. Come on.
I said Austin. I said Austin.
Okay, you say you would do Austin. Okay.
I
All right.
wouldn't.
Well,
No, she would
you would.
not.
Okay.
I
Yeah, that's why I was
wouldn't.
laughing. That's why I was laughing. Yeah, so that's cool, man. You even, Austin. But that's all I wanted to know, man. Austin, I ain't gonna hold up no more time, man. Appreciate you looking out, brother. Nice to meet you, Paola. I hope to see you soon. And I'll hit you up on your
You
platform.
too.
All right, peace.
Okay. It's nice
Peace.
to meet you.
You got one more caller from the social loner. What's going on?
Sorry,
Yo,
yeah, can you hear me?
yeah.
No, sorry, I'm in the office, so I was trying to change my headset. Nah, I just wanted to come on here because some of the people were saying something about racism and things like that, about Paula being racism. As somebody who's actually met Paula, she's a very down to earth person, very cool, and never gave me any racism vibes or anything like that. So don't just because somebody says something you don't want to hear about a certain demographic, that does not make them racist. All right, stop trying to put your own thinking on other people. And that's all I wanted to say. And also, Bobby Rico, man, I got no beef with you, brother. I'm just a simple man trying to do business and live life.
Is this Khaled? Khaled? What's your name?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Paul. It's kind
Oh,
of yeah, I
it's
go by
good
the
to
social
hear from
loner now. I go
you.
by the social loner now. Everybody got beef with me because I say it how it is. No, but yeah, I'm just happy to see you doing well, though. I actually love to see you grow up and things like that. And keep doing your thing, girl. All right.
Thank you for coming. It's nice to hear you.
Okay. All right. Ciao.
Ciao.
All right. You got these comments are funny as hell, man. Okay. So they said she ain't feeling you, I could tell. Okay. If anybody else wants to call in, what are you about to say?
No, I said like I actually met him. I used to be a receptionist in this hostel in Medellin, in Santa Marta, like years ago, and I met him there years ago.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
They said that they're having a sympathon for you in the comments. Would you agree with that? Do you think the dudes in the comments are simping for you? She wants y'all to simp.
What is him?
Oh, that's good. You don't know. Well, I guess based off the culture of Medellin, maybe you wouldn't know. So Terry, Trayvon Walton's calling in. What's going on?
What's going on, bro? I just got a question for you because I'm about to be going to Cartagena next weekend to stay out there for a couple of months. I was gonna say in Medellin, or Medellin, what would be like a fair price for an Airbnb to start at to like go ahead and get for like a 1 bedroom?
It depends. If you want to stay in Poblado, you can at least ensure like at least from 80 USD and up in Poblado. Then in Laureles, you can find Airbnbs for $50 a night, 40 maybe, like
So if
small apartments.
okay, I was planning on staying for like if I was gonna do like a long-term stay in Medellin and do a monthly,
Ah, okay.
what would
Hello.
be like a decent price out there?
So with my company, we actually help people relocate and find a long-term stay. And
I'm sorry,
again, it
can you?
depends on the state. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I say it depends in the area you want to stay. If you want to stay in Poblado, you're not gonna find nothing less than 1,200 USD a month, like furniture place. And then if you want to stay in
Okay,
Laureles,
okay.
maybe you can find 1,000, 800, 700 a month. 800 Yeah, the minimum in Laureles for a furniture place.
Word. Okay. Okay. I got it. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay. Did you have any more questions for him?
No, no, I didn't. I appreciate both of y'all. Thank you.
Okay, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in.
For sure.
All right. So we don't have any more call-ins. Uh, I'll give everybody 2 more minutes to call in. If not, we'll let the guests go. They say, "How do I join the call?" I done put the link in the chat about 100 times. But yeah, we'll give her about 2 more minutes, and then we'll let her go, and we'll start the after-hours show. We just do our freestyle. Well, actually, we are in the after-hours show. The interview will be clipped and put up again tomorrow. So, how do you feel about the interview today so far?
It's fine. It's good. I see a lot of hating comments towards me, but the time the time when I try to explain people who I am and what I do like and not, it's over. Like people gotta believe what they want to believe. And I'm sorry if maybe you don't like me. And if you like me, great. I appreciate it. But I'm not here to prove anybody is, something, guys. It's over, honestly. There's always gonna be haters.
Yeah, I don't think they were hating on you though. I think we had a
No,
lot
some
of
people,
people.
when I started, somebody says, I got a B for Paola, something like that, but I'm going to cool because it's your life. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, okay, okay. I see. So
And
we got. Uh,
especially because of the video where they make it seem like I hate black men just because I say guys and get as far words like majority black.
yeah, we're gonna talk about that after this caller. I want to ask you about that, but we have CJ. What's going on?
Yo, what's up, Austin?
How are you?
All right. First of all, I'd like to say you're hilarious. So, I like watching your videos. You're hilarious, and that's pretty much. And I think you might have met my boy Dennis. I went to school with Dennis Sperling.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, I went to school with
You're
him.
talking to us.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but anyway, I just want to ask a quick question. I actually just came from Cartagena last week. But Paola, would it? Would you say Bucaramanga is a safe place?
Oh, that's a difficult question because I've never been there. But I know a girl from Bucaramanga. But my best friend for life, she lived there for like about almost 2 years. And it seems like a pretty good city, like a lot of business and also a lot of like manufacturing from the country comes from there when it comes to clothes and sandals. They have a lot of manufacturing for that. So it's a city, with good economy.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to ask that question because I plan on going there at the end of the month, and I was like, like I don't. Colombia is it's a little sketchy for me because I'm from the U.S. and I don't know the language fully, and it's foreign land basically.
Oh yeah. I don't have much to say about it. All I know is it seems to be a cool city. Yeah,
Okay. All right. Cool. Thanks.
no
Keep doing
problem.
your thing, Austin.
Thank you. I appreciate you calling in, man.
All right.
All right, we got one more caller, and then I'll let her go. I don't want to hold her up all day. Go ahead. How you doing?
How you doing, sir? How's
Good.
everything in Colombia? Are you at Colombia right now?
No, I'm in Paraguay.
Paraguay. All right. I actually have two questions. Both of them, you both can answer it. Um, I have an education as a therapist here in Sweden, and I always been interested in traveling to Colombia. How is the work when it comes as a family therapist and as a Muslim brother? I want to ask you guys, how is the Muslim community in Colombia? And if I ever want to reach out to a community or even the mosque out there, what is your experience with the Muslims? And tell me a little bit about the Muslims in Colombia.
Ooh, so see, I'm from the coast. I'm in the coast in Barranquilla. Actually, Shakira has a background of Lebanese, which
Hmm.
are like majority Muslims.
Yes.
coast of Colombia, like actually going to Venezuela, like La Guajira, Maicao, Riohacha, Santa Marta, Barranquilla. I don't know about other part, but there is a big influence in Muslim community. There's also a mezquita, a mosque, a huge one in Maicao, La Guajira, because there's a lot of Muslims in that community, and mainly they are in industries like how you say this in English? They sell things for design like telas. I don't know how to say telas. Uh, yeah, yeah, mainly on that, and then electronic business, like bringing electronics into the country. In the coast, there's definitely a big Muslim. You don't see a lot of like women wearing the hijab and everything, but you definitely from time to time see local women that maybe their parents were Muslim and they, generationals, wearing hijabs and everything. Textiles, yes, that's the word.
Textiles. Okay, I got you. Therapist. Is that a big market in Colombia? Like, if there ever is a family issue, do people solve it amongst their family members or auntie and grandma? Or do you have like local centers where people can go and actually solve their issues? You have that in Colombia?
I would definitely say that mental health is getting very prioritized here, where even like the public insurance is giving therapy sessions for, included or for free to people. And yeah, people nowadays they very into it. Honestly, I don't really know how to answer your question. If that makes sense.
Nah, I understand. It's a little bit difficult.
I personally had take therapy, very expensive, by the way.
I understand. Well, basically, that's all I had to ask, and I appreciate you, Austin. You make some funny content. I remember watching you first time when you were saying to brothers like, "Hey, man, you think you're gonna come to Latin America and you don't even brush your teeth? You were roasting black people because they're not brushing the teeth properly." And I was like, "Man, this is hilarious." From that point, I became a subscriber.
I appreciate that, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
All right. Thank you guys for having me, and have a good night.
You too.
Good night.
Take care.
Last caller is from Kevin Frey, and then we'll let the guests go. How are you doing?
Oh, Kevin Frey, how you doing, man? Yeah, my question, I was asking it in the chat, but I was wondering, so how is it for foreigners to come over and get involved in the politics? Is that an issue by chance, or?
What do you mean getting involved in the politics? In what, like?
Okay, so, locally on a scale, so for instance, I'm here in Texas, right? If I would get involved with the local politics of seeing how things are ran in the community, wanting to get things better, right? As a foreigner coming over to a land that's not mine and getting involved in that, perchance, would that cause issues for the locals? Yeah, exactly. See, you like bullets, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Because you see, over there, down there, there's already an issue amongst politics, So it's like, would it be worse for foreigners to even do that? It's like not me doing that personally. I'm just asking.
I mean, some foreigner has like involved themselves into the politics here, but more as an sponsors of upcoming presidents or upcoming mayor and stuff like that. Yeah, there is things that I can't really say, but yeah, there is foreigners that are sponsoring some people campaigns basically. But as them being part of it is complicated because Colombia in general, I think these positions really work like by influence and by who puts you there. Maybe I don't know if it's United States the same, but if you are the son of the ex-president that now want to be the governor, then you have a possibility. But just like out of the southern, like somebody is complicated.
Yeah, so basically, if you're coming over from another country, your main goal is just to come there and just be a patron in the sense of enjoying the scenery. Don't get involved in anything when it comes to politics.
No, you can, but definitely it's gonna take you time. First, you need to speak Spanish perfectly. Second, you need to learn the country's, government system and how things work before you even think the possibility of you being part of it. You need to understand it and know, like, the background of our government and why things are the way they are right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that was my question. I was just wanting to get it asked.
No
Appreciate you, man.
problem.
All right, I appreciate you calling in.
All right, have a
Thank
good
you.
one.
You too. Somebody said he's a socialist. Okay, so if you want to stay for more call-ins, you can. If not, we're gonna go ahead and start the after-hour show. We're at the hour and 40-minute mark. It's up to you. It depends on how much free time you have. I don't know if you got dressed for the show or if you got dressed to go out after the show. We got another super chat from Sheed. $5. Why do you give so much heat towards black men, but not as much heat towards white men caught with two 12-year-old girls? Well, if you're talking to me, I do it towards black men because I'm black, right? Here's an example.
I think he's talking to me because of the question of the 12 years old guy, the white man that was with these minors in Medellin. Honestly, I'm not giving heat. If making you aware of what the locals is thinking and how things are into perspective for some people here is giving you heat, then it's up to you. Because if I'm giving you advice, guys, why are you all every time in Jettas Park? Some of them guys in Jettas Park don't even want prostitute, but they don't know better because it's what is being promoted, right? Why don't you go to some other places? So if me making you aware of something is giving you heat, I apologize, guys. I already say there was some people trying to call me in the channels to talk about it. I'm not gonna mention race anymore if it's up to it. I did say I have a whole video on YouTube about what the guy Mr. Livingston, which is the guy who was with the two minors that in Medellin, Colombia, and that make a big scandal. I have a video talking about it and also the consequences of his action and what the mayor basically is doing after that. So it's not heat, guys. It's not heat.
Okay. So yeah, let's go to the next topic. If anybody else wants to call in, I don't know how much time you have. How much time do you have? If you want to stay, if not, you've been on here long enough, and we appreciate your support. If you have to go,
no, I have a couple more minutes. I'm just hungry.
oh, you're hungry. Okay, well, if you want to eat, it depends. Because we're about to be sitting. My entire life is in front of the computer this whole week. So we're just about to sit here and talk. If you want to answer more questions or even promote your business a little more, you could do that as well. Hold on 1 second. We got one more caller. Promote your business a little more. How's it going? Do that as well. Hold on 1 second. We got one more caller. Promote your business.
Hey, what's up, Austin?
How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm getting a delay or something. But
you got keep pause the TV in the background.
Turn off the TV in the background.
Keep pause it.
Okay, I'm getting a delay. Yeah, hold on. But all right, there we go.
Okay,
all
now
right,
we
the question I have for Paula, and just for some context, I've lived in Medellin for the last 7, almost 8 years. I speak Spanish pretty fluently. I've been to 9 different cities throughout Colombia. And I always hear a lot of heat or attention given by Colombians about all the bad things that foreigners are doing with coming into Colombia, coming into Medellin. And it really gets me upset when foreigners are constantly getting drugged and killed and robbed and all this other stuff. And there's no action. There's no sympathy for all the people that are dying. And I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on that, as well as your, I guess, behind the scenes insight amongst what other Colombians say about those problems that are continuously going on, specifically in Medellin, more so than any other city?
Mm, it is a complicated situation. It is sad, honestly. There is a problem right there that is a lot of people are not reporting it. I personally have clients that haven't, so it's difficult maybe in that side to take action. From the local perspective, it's like, um, it's sad. I'm not saying it's no, but some people are like, okay, but it happened maybe because they were looking for prostitutes and stuff like that. They justify the end because of what may cause it, right? Um, I think it's a bad thing. I think there should be a regulations about it. But I don't know what type of regulation they can put, because most of these things are happening off dating apps. So how can you regulate those things if you saw me and we match on Tinder and then I go to your place because you like me and I scopolamine you? Like, what can the government? How can the government control that except for like banning those dating apps? But then they will have to go into a legal to court with those apps in the country for why they're banning them. So it's a long process. I don't really know. All I'm saying is that people need to be careful, because to be honest with you, this is now it's called escopolami. We used to call it burundanga, and it has not only happens to foreigners, it happens to local people, to women. Before, it was like the guys doing it to women sometimes so they can bring them back home, or they doing it to, or even the women to men. You understand?
Yeah.
Um,
So I have an idea. You were saying, like, what can the government do, or what can people do? I think like the same kind of interest people have at protesting in Parque Jarris and protesting in Provenza and demanding that, you know, there's less gringos coming to visit Colombia. If people would do that in the barrios about tourists being killed, then maybe that would kind of influence a little bit. I mean, I really like Medellin, but there's a lot of hypocrisy that goes on there. Like, people
of
want
course.
people want to talk about all the druggings that's going. I mean, I'm sorry, not the druggings, but that foreigners are coming to Medellin for drugs. Yet you have Barrio Antioquia, you have Boyacá in El Centro, where it's like a nightmare. It's just a street full of addicts all over the street, and the police are a block away and don't do anything about it. So it's a culture of, and again,
It has
I'm not blaming you, especially because you're
no. I
from
understand.
Barranquilla.
It has happened for a long time for locals too. Uh, before I moved to Medellin, we was in Santa Marta with my friend Kelly. She's very popular here in Colombia, and we were in this call in Santa Marta, which is very rare to see in Santa Marta because it really never happens. And she was having a drink. She put her drink in the bar scene, and somebody put burundanga, what you call escopolam, in her drink. So it's not only happening to foreigners. Now it's bad because they're using it with the purpose of robbing them, and because they don't know about this substance, they be putting more of the doses that they should, and that's why it's actually killing these people, because it's
Right,
overdoses of the drug, right?
right,
But it's been happening for Colombian two guys, and it's not like I don't want to take accountability for it, but I don't know what to say. There is a lot enough warner for people to be careful who they bring in to their places. I have a client. It was like a month and a half ago. Imagine, he doesn't party, he doesn't do drugs, he's a fitness rat. He the more sane guy you can see. Yeah, he also fell into that because they knew how to convince him of coming to his place. She knew she was doing that. She ended up coming to her place, give him drugs. He was like all his body is strong because he eat good, he exercise, but it's still the drug made him sleep, and she took everything from him. And he's not a bad guy. But just like it happened to him, it happened to also guys that are looking for prostitutes. It happens to everybody, and it happens to local people. Well, one thing that I would say that a lot of people are like, it's only happening in Colombia. It's not only happening in Colombia. I've seen cases even in America. It happened. It's just not public there because people who live there don't want to be exposed to those things. Cardi B, even I don't know how she's not in prison for that, but Cardi B publicly told in an interview that when she was a stripper, she used to drug guys so she can take their money and leave. She could have killed somebody and we don't even know. So factually, that's something that is also happening there, but it's not public because if you live there and it happened to you there, you don't want your family to know that somebody robbed you because you were about to have sex and they put drugs on you, right? So I would say it's an issue. It shouldn't be happening here because it should be like a safe place for tourists. I don't know what will be the solution for it, honestly, because it's mostly based on social media. Because I guarantee you live here. If you go to the Jeras Park and you get a girl from there, there is like low cases that it can happen because those girls, they work there. They are seen every day. If you point at them or take a picture to Parque Lleras, they're probably gonna be, oh, I know her or I know where she lives. But they get on dating apps. Nobody knows them. You don't have really a registration of them. Nobody can give you like a refer of her. So they doing that and they disappear. And who's gonna find her? They're using like fake IDs, fake names. They even use wigs. It's complicated.
So what do other Colombians in your social circle say, or what do they, believe? What do they think about the prevalence of the foreigners being drugged? Because I've seen some online forums where like Colombians are cheering every time there's a gringo dead, and it's it kind of makes it it's like an us versus them thing at that point.
No, I honestly, if you go to the expats group in Medellin that join them, and you will see the amount of expats that live here that are American, European, that they don't want to hang around gringos or even environments where there is gringos. And yeah, I screenshots of them saying it publicly on those groups when even there is an event or something like I'm not coming because I know there's gonna be gringos there and stuff. Gringos living here. So if the own expat community is against certain things, you can only imagine how the locals are. And about the solution for what's happening, I don't really know because it's complicated. It's based on dating apps and then how you control that. I think if you know there is an issue, a social issue, I think what is less is for each individual to be, to be aware of what is happening and then to take action based in what they know. Okay, there is going on, then why are you taking these women to your bed if you don't really know her,
Right.
And I'm not saying there isn't an issue because I know people are gonna come, oh, but she's not. No, there is an issue clearly. Those women are doing this clearly. I'm not saying it's gringos' fault because everybody has the right to date and to invite somebody that they like over to the place. But if you know there is an issue, then act based on that. No dar papaya. Somebody just say it there.
¿Y a ti eres segura?
¿Mm?
¿Estás soltera?
Sí.
¿Y segura? No vas a drogarme. Si te invito, no vas a drogarme.
No.
Okay. Hey, Austin. So last October, I decided to get a spot out here in Rio de Janeiro. So I've been living back and forth between Medellin and Rio. And then last month, I decided to just cut my ties in Medellin, put all my stuff in storage, and I'm here full time in Barra da Tijuca.
How do you like Barra da Tijuca as opposed to Ipanema and all that?
I look at it like, so Barra da Tijuca is a great place to live, but when you want to party and do all that other stuff, you can head out to Copa and Ipanema. But my spot is like literally right on the beach. I can hear the waves crashing. So it's great, man. So come on back home, bro.
I'll be back. I'll be back real soon. Before you know it, I promise. Before you know it.
Nobody wants him there.
We got 2 more super chats from Germany, July. I heard Mexicans are more racist towards black people than Colombia. Why? Does anybody have the answer to that?
Mexico probably has fewer black people there, so they probably don't have as outspoken of a community.
Yeah. The next one is from James Morton. He says, "When I see Colombians in my country, I never take advantage of them or discriminate. Until Colombia gets a handle on targeting gringos, no regreso."
Okay.
So I did my master's thesis on something to do with Colombia and the fight that they were having against the FARC, which is the guerrilla group, Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
And so I learned a lot about the history and the background and the culture and all that stuff working out of the embassy in Bogota. And it's a beautiful country. The people are excellent for the most part, but I think anytime you have a tourist-centered city, you're always going to have people that try to take advantage of the tourists. That's anywhere you go.
Yeah.
You know, New York, Miami, LA, Chicago, wherever you go. So I'm from New Orleans, so it's the same way. Like when I go back to New Orleans, if I don't know the latest, lingo and places to go, things to do, people look at me like I'm a foreigner too. So
Right.
I get that part.
Okay.
But thanks for the time. Nice talking to you, Paula. Austin.
Nice talking to you. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you as well. Man. I appreciate the support you sent as well.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. I know you said you were hungry. If you want to eat or whatever you want to do, whenever you're ready to go, just let me know. I'm not holding you hostage, but
Okay. He has a question for me?
No, I have no questions. All I can say is I am very glad that Austin has a female guest on, to interview. That's cool. That's cool. And I respect you. So all I can say is Austin was very engaged with your conversation. I mean, sometimes Austin falls asleep with the conversations.
Because these questions are a little more of what I talk about on my channel versus the other new questions are like, and I'm trying to transition, plus I had more, I think like when I did, who did I do before that? I guess it doesn't matter, but I forgot. I interviewed so many people, I forgot who I interviewed last.
I'm not going to call out anybody, Austin, right? But all I can say is this guest was great. To have a female join your chat, right, or join your live, and for you to interview her is beautiful. I appreciate the women of Colombia, and she did a great job of representing, and all her questions were honest. She responded honestly, sincerely.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So we appreciate you on the show, big time.
These comments are funny today, man. Yesterday they weren't too funny, but today they're funny.
No, today is a more interesting day. And all I can say, the last dude, I wanted him to stay on. I know that motherfucker. He is a big dog in Medellin. He's a big dog in Medellin. And he is enjoying his fucking life in Medellin. That I know.
The guy, the bald head guy that was just on here?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Paola probably would not appreciate that man. Let's just say that.
I don't know. I don't know him.
But he's a good guy. But he's out there being a big dog. But it sounds like he moved to Brazil. So he left fucking Colombia. So I it was interesting to hear. It would be nice to hear more of that conversation.
You live in Colombia?
No, I live in Cali part-time. I live in, yo vivo 6 meses por año en Cali.
Cali, Colombia or California?
Sí, Cali, Colombia.
Ah, okay.
Me gusta Colombia. Sí. Pero yo respeto Colombia.
That's good. That's good.
See, but seriously, I appreciate you, Paola, that you joined Austin's live and that you were here to answer the questions. You did a great job, and I think the chat in general respected you, and you answered the questions very well.
Thank you. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Mm. I'm sorry, I'm just reading the comments like people is crazy.
Yeah, some of the comments are crazy. So a simp, like just to define a simp, right? A simp is a man that may pay a girl or maybe a sugar daddy. Papi de sogar is equal is simp, is papi de sogar.
Okay.
So me no gusta papi de sogar. Is hombre de bel. ¿Entiendes?
I understand.
We have one more call. Let me let Black Mind in here real quick. What's going on? Black Mind, you in the chat. While we're reading that, while waiting on him, the next super chat is from Sun is Hot Rod within £5. Shout out to you, Austin, your guest. My solution to the problem is if you don't like what's going on in Colombia, stay out. Simple as that. Just like your boy Austin Holloman. You know, I was brave enough to put on my Instagram page like I'm never coming back to Medellin. And Paula was the first person to message me because she thought I was affecting her bottom line. So she had to reach out to me before I went on a slandering campaign. But I gave her a chance.
Because you were talking too much. Yeah, that's not true.
Bottom line. So where's Trip Mundo saying $50 for this has nothing to do with anything, but the majority of Colombians look like your guests. The women here in the DR are defeated. You think the women in the DR are well, yeah, I don't know. You know, I haven't been to the DR, so I can't really give my opinion. What do you think, Pablo?
What you mean? What he means with the Dominican are defeated? What is it that they're not as good or they as good? I don't understand. Like
the Dominicans, he's saying are not as good as Colombian women. Give me 1 minute.
Oh, I don't know because funny thing that in Colombia, here in Medellin, at least in Medellin, I'm not gonna say Colombia. In Medellin, most of the time, people think I'm Dominican. But maybe because in Medellin is more like first skin type of Colombia versus the coast, and because I'm from the coast, I don't know. A lot of time, even the rappers that in Medellin they come to me like DR, Puerto Rico, and I'm like, I don't know.
I think Austin.
Yeah.
He left the wrong guy on. He left me on by accident.
And I never been in DR neither. Plus, beauty is to the eye of beholder. Maybe some guys here might find me attractive, some guys here might find me ugly, and that's okay. So no. I don't really.
Paola. Tú es de Santa Marta, correcto?
Yeah, I'm from Santa Marta.
Sí. Tú is más linda, fucking Dominican Republic.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say yes or no. I wouldn't say yes or no.
That is verdad.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if we have any more okay, let me drop in one more time. The callers call back again. Black Mind, you're in the building now. We can hear you.
How's it going, sir? How's everything?
I'm doing well, and you?
Okay, excellent. All right. Last time it was failing on me. Sorry about that. I think I'm getting a weak connection, so I'll try to make it quick. Paola, are you better now? And just confirm that there is a delay, so my internet is weak. Sorry about that.
That's fine. What you got for us today, man? Oh, he did say it was a delay.
All right. I realized that yeah, it's a delay. It's bad. So Paola, can you hear me okay, ma'am?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, excellent. I just have a question about a proverb. A guy from Sierra Leone years ago told me that there was a proverb in Colombia. So now I can ask if this proverb actually exists in Colombia, since you grew up
Okay.
there. Is it true that there's a proverb that translated means that there is African history before Colombia, but there is no Colombian history before Africa? Have you ever heard that proverb before?
No.
Okay. All right. If you haven't heard it, then it's probably not there. So I just wanted to make sure. And yeah, I admit it. Initially, I was planning on coming up and bringing. Well, I wasn't planning on coming up and bringing smoke, but I was planning on starting some of my own channel. But I saw a guy named Dusty McDust in the chat who explained or gave a context to something that you said on BMT's live stream. So apparently, you were telling the truth. So I can't really bring any smoke if all you were doing was telling the truth. Thank you all for having me on. Good to see you again, Austin. Y'all take care.
Good to see you as well. I think what he was referring to was back to the comment that everybody keeps bringing up about you saying that it's a bunch of black men and Pargettas. We might have to just pull that video up to shut it down, but or y'all could just go look.
Maybe you can. Maybe you should, because
Maybe
if I do it, then I'm the racist one.
Let me see, because I know for a fact. Let's see. I'm gonna have to dig for this one because I've done so many live streams since I was in Colombia. So tell us more about your business again. In the meantime.
Yes, guys. Again, I help people with concierge service to Colombia, so getting villas for them, security, chef, tours, and then in the relocating part of it, I help people move into Colombia, so getting visas for them. Of course, I have a team of lawyers and realtors and people who wanna, get long-term rentals. Also, we help them with that. My company's Instagram is Ultimate Colombia, and my personal Instagram, you can also contact me. It's Paola Sands, like Sands on the beach, Sands, Paola Sands. Yeah. So yeah, I have a couple, people right now that are staying long term in very nice apartments. It depends on the budget, and also people that come here just for vacation. I help them with the villas and um, basically creating their itinerary.
Yeah. Okay, so we got another super chat from question for Paola. I'll be in Medellin next month. Is the place Jenny Lau still open? Secondly, is El Poblado or Provenza better to stay?
Okay, I'm gonna start with the second question because El Poblado, guy, is more than a neighborhood; is a district. So Provenza is inside Poblado, just like El Tesoro, La Lindes, Manila, Patio Bonito. All those are like neighborhoods inside of Poblado. So Provenza is Lleras is another neighborhood of Poblado. So if I say Provenza is better, it wouldn't make sense. Johnny Lao is still open 100%. I was actually there a few weeks ago. It's really a really nice Afro-Colombian club to go to. Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions? Y'all talking a lot of shit in the chat. Y'all got to bring them questions, man. A lot of shit talk today.
Paola, tu cabello es muy linda.
Thank you.
Guys, we are officially in the after hours, so we got another caller really quick. Poppy Kulo, what's going on?
Yo, what's going on, man?
How you doing?
Good, good. I'm at a park right quick, so it's not loud. I just left the gym, but I was listening, and I didn't want to bring the conversation back a little bit to the drugging, but she's Paula, you seem really smart, so I'm gonna just push back on you with this. You were talking about the solutions to the drugging and stuff like that, and how they can't ban the dating apps and people have to watch for themselves. But on the same note, you don't think that the main problem is like government corruption? Because people set these people up to get them caught, they report them to the police, and they just kind of pay their way out of it, or they just let them go. Like there's no punishment. There's not a lot of crime in Arab countries because the laws are super strict. Like you do something and it's a heavy crime. Whereas with these girls, they do it and they can just keep doing it and keep doing it no matter if they get caught. So you don't think the problem is more so like a government corruption issue?
Mm, I don't know, maybe partially, but to be honest with you, there is also a problem by people not reporting it because they don't want to go into all that of going to the police and stuff like that. There's actually there was very popular this girl on those Facebook group. Thankfully, a lot of guys reported her. In she's in prison now. One girl from Medellin, from Bello, and another girl from Venezuela. They both got like lockdown.
Locked up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so if people maybe should be reporting more those cases so they can have an image how these people looks and they start reporting it, because it's not everybody, not every woman is just daring to go into an apartment building that they know there is cameras to just be exposed now on social media and everything. But they are doing it also because they know the gringos just don't want to report it. And again, I know 5 different people, and out of all these, only one reported it.
Interesting. Okay, cool. That's an interesting point as well. I guess it's probably a mix.
Because they don't wanna, be saying out he got played, he's a stupid guy, he's grown, uh, or maybe they just don't want to go into the long process of going to the police and reporting this person because I don't know.
No, that's fair. All right, that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
So, for everybody that's been asking, I'm going to present Parguedes. This is Floyd and I.
My man
And
Floyd.
This is on the ground footage of what you will see here. Hold on. Let's see if we can find what the black folks said. What we was talking about.
Find the black folks.
Because they said it wasn't no black folks.
Peola, Austin buscar de negros.
Okay, I guess I'll just take my word for it. It's plenty of black folks in Medellin.
Plenty of black folks.
There's plenty of over there.
There's
We
plenty of black folks in Loretta's Pocket.
These comments are hilarious, man. Hold on, let me bring up let me bring up the next caller really quick. Hold on. Brandon Meadows, what's going on?
Yo, awesome. Hold on, let me turn this off because I got to play in the background. Hey, I appreciate you putting me up. I've been on your channel for a minute, so I don't want to be rude and not acknowledge you. I appreciate you putting me on. I fuck with you, and congratulations on 100K. I just got a question. I got a few questions for Paola because I'm interested in going to Colombia. Right. Let me put this up. All right. My first one is for a first-time visitor to Colombia. Like, what's a recommended place to go to?
To go to Colombia?
Yeah, anywhere.
I mean, it depends what environment you're looking for. Medellin is a big city with, a lot of options for food. The nightlife is nice, but then also Cartagena. But the difference is it's smaller, and then there is the beach side. There's also Santa Marta with a lot of nature to explore, local local vibes, very cheap. There's also Cali, which is
Uh-huh.
more no really about the nature there, but really about its culture. The salsa culture is big on salsa, and then the dental tourism. It really depends what vibe you're looking for.
All right, next one. I like beaches. So, what beaches would you recommend to go to in Colombia?
You definitely should try San Andres Island, and then the beach in Cartagena, but not in the city. The ones that you get away, like Bora Bora, Cholon, they're blue and nice. And then in
Mhm.
Santa Marta, there's beautiful, like um, Tayrona Park, Playa Cristal. And over here in the Pacific, there is some nice beach, but I can't comment on that because I've never been.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it right now, but I'm gonna keep watching. Austin, keep doing your thing, and thank you, Paola, for answering my question.
No
Thank you for
problem.
calling in. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Much love, dog.
All right, man.
Okay, I think I'm ready to go
Are you ready to go?
before I passed out in front of the camera. Maybe okay, I wait for this guest to see if he has a question and
Wait,
then I go.
you can't pass out. You said you went on what was it, a 50-day fast?
21 days water fasting. But you train your body and your mind to do it. It's just not like, oh, I'm gonna decide to stop eating now.
Okay, I get that. Last caller, and then we'll let her go, and we'll start the after hours show. That will stop at about 8 o'clock. Gerald, you're on mute. Gerald, you're on mute. All right. We'll bring him back up. So I appreciate you calling in today. I will replay this in the morning and you can watch it again. I will tag your YouTube channel. Just send me on WhatsApp your YouTube again so I can put it up there. And thank you for calling in.
No, thank you, and thank you everybody for listening to me. Against I have nothing against nobody. Peace and love, and yeah. For one more time, you can just my YouTube channel is Paola Stens La Colombiana, and my Instagram is Paola Stens. And thank you guys. Have a good stream. Now